Let's pay homage to the lineage gurus. Homage to the Venerable Monk Liao Ming. Homage to Master Sakya Zhengkong. Homage to His Holiness the 16th Karmapa. And homage to Master Dubden Dorshi. Homage to the three jewels of the altar. Homage to the main deity of the group practice this evening, the greatly loving and compassionate Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva. Sumo, Tanzan Katso, Dubden Siddhi, Dubden Kama, all Dhamma masters, Dhamma lecturers, Dhamma teachers, Dhamma instructors, Dhamma teaching assistants, temple and center directors, and all disciples present here and over the internet. Good evening. How do you do? Just now we watched the animation clip. In my heart, it's quite touching. I was thinking that I myself is an old practitioner or old cultivator, but my meditative stability or meditative power and patience are still not enough. Recently, this old cultivator, the old pine tree, just like the tree bark, my skin got eczema. It's really stubborn, very itchy. And many children also suffer from eczema. And it's a kind of ailment that's very obstinate or troublesome, hard to deal with. Reading my own book and then thinking about myself, I can't even cure my own illness. How can I cure the illnesses of sentient beings? What's strange is the fu or talisman that I draw can cure the illnesses of sentient beings, but drawing the talisman for myself cannot cure myself. Therefore, just now watching the video clip, I found myself not to be strong enough. At first, I felt totally discouraged, hopeless. I've used all kinds of medicines, and ointments, and it's still not cured until today. At night I cannot sleep, so I take naps in the daytime. Sometimes I feel I don't want to be in the Sahault anymore, but there's nothing I can do. Why do I live? Just for the faith, for the 5 million disciples. We can say, I live for my disciples, not for myself, but for the disciples. So that disciples have faith in the Buddha, I have to live on like this. If I had not been a Buddhist, I would be like Chong Yao, like San Mao, these Taiwanese authors. It's not that I abandoned samsara, but I want to leave the Saha world. Because Sakyamuni Buddha taught us you cannot take your own wisdom lives. You cannot take your own life. So Sakyamuni Buddha said, old age and being sick are suffering. Think in this human world, how many people are being sick. Look at the hospitals. To look at the ICUs. Look at the cemeteries. Then you would know the impermanence in this world. these days I have to wake up at night, put on some ointment. I cannot sleep at night, so I changed to sleeping in the daytime. Many people are taking care of me, help me put on the ointment, and the doctors, Dr. Lee from Taiwan, Dr. Jack Hong in Seattle. They came to my home and told me how to take care of myself. And the care of many people who give me all kinds of ointments. There are over 50 different kinds. So thank you for everyone's care and attention. I cannot be too selfish to live because I want to. I must live on for the 5 million disciples. I live in this world with much reluctance. In this lifetime, I don't have many moments of happiness. Most of the time, it's suffering. That's why Sakyamuni Buddha said that the Saha world is the ocean of suffering. We should be liberated from the bondage of samsara sooner. You don't want to tumble in the cycle of the rebirth and be held in bondage. Living is suffering, dying is suffering, old age is suffering, being sick is also suffering. Samantabhadra Bodhisattva said, life is like fish in scanty water. What joy is there? It turns out being old is like this. Being sick is like this. Suffering is like this. Reading the book that I wrote, I felt very painful. Thinking about the sentient beings on earth, there are many people suffering from illness, and many people suffering from old age. I really find human beings are very pitiful. In this world, there are too many people who are suffering. I started spiritual cultivation a long time ago, since 26. Until now, I know that I'm an old cultivator, and yet, as an old cultivator, I still have to suffer the suffering of old age, and I'm not strong enough. I just hope that sentient beings have no illnesses and no afflictions and can cultivate spiritually happily. That they can abandon transmigration in samsara sooner and to attain the Buddhahood, the Buddhaverse. I don't want to pray for myself. I am sick, I am old, and make me think about sentient beings being old, getting old, and being sick. I just hope that everyone would leave behind suffering and attain happiness. Now I would like to answer questions asked by disciples. From Malaysia, Lotus Tzu. Master, may you be peace. Would like to ask your guidance. The connection between the 9-syllable mantra and Akalanata. To my knowledge, the 9-syllable mantra originated in Taoism long ago, and then later was incorporated into Japanese Shingon Buddhism, combined with the esoteric mudras, and later centered around Akalanata as of Fudo-myo as the principal deity. Is this correct? That's the second question. If a lifelong Taoist priest practices only Taoist methods, can they still manifest sariras or relics after death? Because in Buddhism, sariras symbolize spiritual attainment. Does Taoism have an equivalent concept, such as relics by another name or distinct physical manifestation? Thank you for your compassionate guidance. I pray for your health, long life in this world, and continually turning the Dhamma wheel. Amitabha Buddha. Question by Lotus Tze Chi from Malaysia. The 9-syllable mantra that belongs to the Japanese Singon Buddhism, Japanese Tantrayana. So was 9-syllable mantra originated in Taoism? Actually, it doesn't matter. Long ago, very long ago, Taoism was founded by Lao Tzu. So we refer to Lao Tzu as the patriarch. It's divided. There are Northern Taoism, that's called the Shen Ching Taoism, which is what's written in the Jin Yong's novels. Chong Yang founded that Northern Taoism, focuses on pure cultivation, which is basically the same as ordained monks and nuns. And then during Sui dynasty, Buddhism spread to the Middle Kingdom. Of course, sometimes there are contradictions between Taoism and Buddhism, but sometimes there are similarities. Like the robes that the Taoist priests wear, they are the crown, Taoist crown, the robe, and the Confucius. So the union of the Taoism, Buddhism, and Confucianism. So this legend was that because 9-syllable mantra centered around Akalanata or Fudomyo, which is Japanese Tantrayana. Actually, Japanese Tantrayana originated from Chinese Tantrayana, and the Chinese Tantrayana started in the Tang dynasty that was transmitted by the three masters, Subhakaraksima, Amoga, and Vajrabodhi, that spread Buddhism into China during the Tang dynasty. And then Kukai from Japan who brought it to Japan and became Singon esoteric Buddhism. So Taoism started it first. during the spring and autumn dynasty, Lao Tzu, and the warring states. Confucius was born 30 years later than Lao Tzu. In China, there are Buddhism and Taoism and Confucianism, which transform Confucius philosophies into a religion. And in Taoism, divided into Northern Taoism for pure cultivation, and Southern Taoism, which is more complex for the Southern one. So, Lianhua Zhiqi from Malaysia asks, so the 9-syllable mantra originated from Taoism and then later brought to Japan, and then in Singon Buddhism added the mudras and focus on Akalanata. So that's possible. Let me consult. Yes, that's about it. That's how it was. If all one's life is just a Taoist priest or master and only practicing Taoist methods, will they also manifest relics upon cremation? That's right. It's not only in Buddhism. In other religions or Taoism, they also bear sariras or relics. As long as you cultivate spiritually, sariras as just a general attainment, like the Nyingma Pa of Tibetan Buddhism. They don't have sariras there. They just transform into rainbow light. They don't even have sariras. So if you still have sariras, you still have things remaining. Like Guru Padmasambhava, he just transformed into a ray of light. Many Mahasiddhas or high adepts just transformed into light and had no remains at all. Like the patriarchs in the Nyingma Pa lineage, Adharma Buddha, who transmitted to the Mahamudra, the Ratna Samugga, the precious mind youth, and the guru of Guru Padmasambhava, Sri Singha. They all transform into lights. And Vimala Mitra also transformed into light when they left the world, also Guru Padmasambhava. So that's direct Buddhahood in this lifetime, which means transforming into light. So if you still have remains like sariras, that means you have Buddhahood during bardo, but not in this life, or not while alive. So if you cultivate spiritually in other schools or other religions, you can also have attainments. So not just having sariras mean you have attainments. We have many disciples having sariras. Like Hanifa's mother bore many sariras in her body, and each one of them is as huge as the tip of the thumb. So those are just a symbol of attainment. Hanifa's mother had the good death. In the morning, she woke up and strolling and felt a bit dizzy before she left the house and sat on the chair and passed, just like that. That's the most comfortable way of dying. And upon cremation, she had many sariras. We have many true Buddha school disciples who had sariras. Some monks also had many sariras. So, spiritual attainment through Taoism can also bear sariras. That's my answer to the questions asked by Lotus Tze from Malaysia. So the highest kind of attainment is direct Buddhahood in this lifetime, like Guru Padmasambhava, who transformed into a ray of rainbow light and disappeared. I hope that you all have attainments in your spiritual cultivation. Just now, I was sharing my feelings deep in my heart. I greatly admire Simu, Mrs. Lu. First, she never shed tears. The illness is suffering is very strange. People say it's terminal, like many cancers cannot be cured. But she's very strong, extremely strong. One time, at that time, before we hired any caretakers, I was the one helping her because she couldn't rub her back, so I was helping her. And I found that she's only bone and skin, just skin and bones. So skinny, and she could not control her movements of the body, and yet she never shed tears at all. Extremely strong, never cries, and she doesn't sleep much at night. She just sleeps 2 or 3 hours, and then she's active all day long. And she's never still. Even when eating, it's like that. So as I was washing her, I was crying. She is very strong. Her strength makes me feel that she is too great, and I find myself too minuscule. For me, I would just cry every time my heart softens. My mom always told me that I like to cry. Every time I feel sad, I would cry. I cannot hide my feelings. Sometimes it's better to cry it out and then would sleep better. So expressing emotion is better. That the fact that I suffer like this, it should be. I should experience this, but smooth suffering shouldn't be. But she's very tough. But I find myself to be so tiny, so minuscule. I hope that you can stay committed in your spiritual cultivation to strengthen yourself. Don't be like Grandmaster, to be melancholic and sentimental. Therefore, it's a testy time. See if I dare to come to the Saha world again to deliver sentient beings. There are so many helplessness. I really admire Simu's spirit, and I find myself is incomparable to her. We should tell some jokes. I feel every time I give Dharma teaching, it's always like this, crying first and then have some laughs. It's nothing we can do. And thank you to everyone, many of you who prayed for me, praying to Golden Mother, to pray to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas on my behalf. And many people give me medicines and supplements and doctors. Okay, let's share some jokes. So, one side is being sad and crying, and then The other side laughing. It is, you don't know whether you should cry or laugh. What's going on here? A man wrote a letter to the wife. Honey, how are you? The boss hasn't paid me for a few months, so I have no money for you, but let me give you 100 kisses. And then the wife replied, I've received 100 kisses from you, and I gave 30 to the principal. Then we are free of tuition, and for the electric worker, 30 kisses, then we don't have to pay electric bills. And then to Mr. Wang next door, 1 kiss a day, and then he would help farming. So don't worry, everything is well at home. Many times when you offend people, it's not because you say something wrong, but because you hit the points. You hit right on. In ancient times, every time during the holidays, you would feel sad. We just celebrated the Ancestors' Day or the Tomb Sweeping Festival. But in modern days, every time we encounter a holiday, we would gain 4 pounds because they just having a good time instead. When you're in a bad mood, try to exercise. Then soon you'll discover that your body is not fit. Yeah, it's true. Now let's expound on the Vimalakirti Sutra. This beginning part of Surangama Sutra is very lengthy. The dialogue between Sakyamuni Buddha and Ananda. This is truly just talking about the mind. It's covering so many aspects. You may not be bothered listening to it, but I feel bothered reading it and explaining it. Ananda said to the Buddha, the Venerable Ananda said to Sakyamuni Buddha, Well honored one, Sakyamuni Buddha, I now reflect further. Now I've thought of this. Earlier we've talked about that the time is not inside. The mind is not inside. The mind is not outside. And the mind is not in union with the eyes, not combined. And next Ananda pondered and said, he was just guessing wildly. Each sentient being has a body which contains internal organs within. like the heart, the lungs, the spleen, the liver, the stomach, the colons are all inside the body, while the sensory orifices, so the 7 orifices include the eyes, the nose, the mouth, the ears. So what are the 7 orifices? 2 eyes, 2 ears, 2 nostrils, and 1 mouth. Altogether 7. They're on the face, they're outside, on the surface. What is inside is dark. So what is inside is dark. You cannot see them, the internal organs. And what is open is bright, which is the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind. They're out on the surface, so it's easy to see. And what's concealed inside cannot be seen, and it's dark. Now, as I face the Buddha with open eyes, so when I open my eyes, I see. So that's called seeing outward, seeing Sakyamuni Buddha. When I close my eyes, I see darkness. You can't see anything, it's dark. I call this seeing inward. So, saying it this way must be right. So, what's on the surface is bright and what's inside is dark. So this should be right? Should be correct, right? And Sakyamuni Buddha told Ananda, when you close your eyes and perceive darkness, is that darkness in front of your eyes or is it not? So Sakyamuni Buddha told Ananda, when you close your eyes and perceive darkness without light, no sunlight, moonlight, lamplight, and the whole room is dark. So, does it mean you are in union with the eyes or not? This is all philosophical thoughts. Sakyamuni Buddha said, if it is in union with your eyes, and the darkness is in front of the eyes, then how can it be considered inside? How can it be inside? If the darkness is truly inside, then in a completely dark room, one without sun, moon, or lamp, can you liken such a dark room to your internal organs? In Taoism, there is a term to open the three burners. What are the three burners? The first one is the brow chakra, or we can say three dantians. Upper dantian at the brow, middle dantian at the heart area, and the lower dantian at the navel chakra. Those are called the three burners. So basically the internals, the inside, the organs and the burners. So if you're not in union with the eyes, then how can you say it is seen? I'm just basically saying it word by word because I don't want to explain it. It's just too verbose. So if you say that you see externally and form inner contact, you're in union with your eyes. You close your eyes and you see the darkness. That's your body. And you open your eyes and you see brightness. But why can't you see your own face? So, when you open your eyes and see brightness, why do you not see your own face? If you cannot see your face, then perception through inner contact does not hold. So that means that the mind and the eyes are not together. If you do see your face, your own face, nowadays we can look into the mirror, and you can see your own face. But if you don't look in the mirror, you can't see your own face. If you don't see your face, then the inner contact does not hold. That means the eyes and the mind are not together. Then you know that the mind and the eyes are in the space or in the sky, not inside the body. If your mind is in the sky, then it is not part of your body. In that case, should I, the Tathagata, now sees your face also considered part of your body? Your eyes already know that union with the body does not mean awareness. So now you have two perceptions, which means you have two minds. So we can see two Ananda, although you only have one body. So the mind, one mind can see inside and one mind can see outside. But looking outward, you can see your face. You look inward, you cannot see the internal organs or the three burners. So as if there are two Ananda, that would become two Buddhas. Therefore, you say that when you close your eyes, you see darkness. You open your eyes, you see brightness. That means there are two bodies, and that's the same as two Buddhas. And so that's meaningless, Sakyamuni Buddha said. I find Their dialogue is also meaningless, really. What is this looking inside, looking outside, looking at the face, looking at the internal organs? If you have no mirrors, think about it. Can you see your own face? You cannot. Only through mirrors you can see your own face. So where is the mind really? You say the mind is inside, but you cannot see the internal organs. It's all dark in there. So what the Venerable Ananda said was also wrong. And Sakyamuni Buddha was continuing the dialogue, and it becomes even more confusing. If really there are two minds, the internal mind who can see the darkness and the outer mind who can see the face, then there would become two Buddhas from the two minds. But the mind is not inside the body. So what is really going on? So the mind is not inside, and the mind is also not outside. And the mind and the eyes are not in union, are not combined. And now, one mind is outside, one mind is inside, and that's also incorrect. So that's simply put, that would be faster, and not like the sutra that's so long-winded. And just wasting so much time and wasting a lot of my effort to think about it, and still doesn't make much sense. Therefore, it's best not to think about many things, because the more you think about it, the worse it gets. In Buddhism, there are many philosophies in it. It's better in Taoism. It's the philosophy of Lao Tzu and the Yellow Emperor, or Lao Tzu and Zhuang Tzu. And what is the philosophy of Lao Tzu and Zhuang Tzu? Don't think about anything, just go naturally. Just follow the natural course. There's no need to have too much knowledge. Lao Tzu regarded that the Tao follows the natural course. Everything just goes naturally, then that would be fine. Do not force anything. So you live ordinary life, but nowadays with such an advanced science and technology, you don't necessarily live a happier life. It's more and more conveniences, which is right, which is true, but don't you feel that everyone is unhappy? Like the Lao Tzu philosophy from China's Taoism, you rise at sunrise and rest at sundown, and you don't think about anything, and then you would be happy. But now there's so many things to learn. Ever since you're very young, keep studying and studying and studying, and you gather more and more afflictions, and more things are invented, and more afflictions, and generating more and more afflictions and problems. But people in the ancient time, they don't have so much thoughts and opinions, I suppose. So I just live a very light and easy and quiet life. Work starting sunrise and rest at sundown. So work in the daytime and rest at night, and follow the natural course, and you would be happier that way. But if you go against the nature, then you would suffer. So talking about mind, Ananda was going down the rabbit holes. Where is the mind and the discrimination, the discernment, and overthinking it? Then you don't get good sleep. If you don't think about it, you have a good sleep. You sleep nicely or soundly. So, at the beginning of the Surangama Sutra, it's very long-winded, very verbose, but I still try to explain it clearly so you can understand, right? So the son was outside and make a call to dad. Dad was at home, and dad said, "Are you missing home? If you can't make a living out there, just come home and farm." And the son said, "But Dad, when you were young, and then you work harder, then I would become the son of a rich man." And the dad said, "But if you work hard now, your son would be the son of a rich man." And the son said, "Why am I the one who work hard to let the brat enjoying life?" And the dad said, "Yeah, that's what I thought too." That's right.
有一名罪犯，老是想着如何去逃出监狱。有一天，他捡到
The prisoner was trying to escape from the prison,
老天暗示他赶快逃。
and one day he got a sign to escape, and he tried but failed. The policeman caught him back and asked him, "Why did you escape from the prison?" because I pick a peach. I mean, this is a word, a homophone in
也是
Chinese.
上天暗示我赶快逃，所以就逃逸。
Because he thought that's a sign from
他为何又
heavens.
被抓回来呢？犯人讲
So why did
没
you
有
get
太
caught
大意的
again?
没有注意到，因为那个桃子是白色的，
Oh, because I didn't.
白桃，
Oh, this is play of words of Chinese.
这是华人的那个笑话吧？
That's a Chinese joke. 有一天呢，有一个女士进了一家 One day,
叫
a
做
woman
老公专卖店，
entered
要能
into
找到她心目中的男人。
the husband's specialty shop,
当她
and
进
she
入
wanted to
一楼的
find a dream
房间的时候，门口
Prince
贴着
Charming. And
上面写
when
着
she got
这里
there,
的男人有稳定的工作，
there is a notice that said
你连看也
the
不
man
看的
here
上
have
2
stable
楼。
work. And she didn't even look and went to the second
这
floor.
里的男人有稳定的工作，而
And
且长得
then
帅，
it's written, the man here has stable
女
job
人开始
and
比了
handsome.
一下，但
And
还
the
是上了
woman
3楼。
hesitated a little bit and she climbed to the 3rd
3
floor.
楼是什么？
And then, and that's it.
老公专卖店，有了有了有了。
Oh, it continues here.
哎，这里老公专卖店原来是很多的。
Oh, there's so many.
那3楼是什么呢？
So what's on the 3rd floor?
因为从来没有人
Because nobody ever got to the 3rd
每
floor.
个女生都进去，
Because everyone got into the 2nd floor.
原来是没有3楼。
And there's no 3rd floor.
老公专卖店，
A husband's specialty shop?
这个是那个名词啊，一穷二白。我们不是常常一穷
This is the
二白。
term.
一穷二白的意思是，一旦你穷了，别人就会用2个白眼来看你。
Oh, this is also a Chinese joke.
这么长的笑话是讲什么？
This is a very long joke.
有一个掰咖的波子，就是波
A limping,
波子，一个波子，一个瞎子，一
limping
个秃子，一个麻子，
blind
4个
man.
乞丐沿街乞讨。
The 4 beggars
捡到一只鸡腿，
were
4个人讨
begging
一只鸡
and
腿
they
4个
found
人
one
一
drumstick.
起吃。
And they were discussing if they eat together, nobody would get their fills. So maybe you should just have one person eat it. So who's the worst kind of person can eat it?
波子讲，
So
我举
the
轻重，
first one,
独断独行，鸡腿应该归我吃。
I'm a
是有
very
眼无珠，
odd.
目中无人，比你更坏，鸡腿应该归我吃。
Oh, this is also with Chinese idioms.
无法无天，自然
I'm
鸡腿归我
blind,
吃。
so I don't.
这时候麻子想不出成语急了，突然一把抓起鸡腿，大口
And
咬
the
下去，
last
接
one.
着讲：“我麻子就是不要脸。”
So, and the last one, I didn't have to say anything, just grabbed the drumstick and eat it, and said that, I'm shameless, and the shameless one got it.
哎，我这个人真的是不要脸。
I'm also shameless. So let me see what we'll talk about tomorrow. It's still so wordy. I really don't want to talk about this. But what can I do? I pick this. Om Mani Padme Hum.